Hey guys and girls, my name's Dan, welcome back to The Forge. In today's episode of Trust Me on Blacksmith, we are going to be talking about hammer eye drifts and how to use them. I have made loads of videos well, I say loads of videos, I made quite a few videos recently of how to punch hammer eyes and axe eyes and so on and so forth, but I haven't really talked about drifting, especially one of the videos I made this drifting, and I didn't even explain what I was doing when I made that really. So what we're going to do today is we're going to make a couple of hammers. I've already videoed some of this and then I've videoed a bit more on top, so there might be a bit of a mishmash, and there's 4 different hammers in total now. So you'll see 2 at the end. But anyway, watch the video and I'll see you on the other side. I've punched this round and now I'm stopping. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to forge these in flat, and that's going to give us an oval shape, and then we're going to start driving the drift through. Then I'm going to create a sort of a British style army engineers hammer pattern with this one. I'm going to leave this one here for a minute. I'm going to get the other one hot, and then I'm going to punch that with the power. Okay, so this is the round-holed hammer, and the first thing I'm going to do, just use the hand hammer, the cheeks in. And I'm going to, now you can do this all by hand, you can do it all with a power hammer, or you can do it with a striker. I'm going to do a little bit of everything on this one. But basically what I'm going to concentrate on in this video is just transferring that information over about how to do this, and what you're trying to achieve whilst you're doing this. So what you can see is that we've made the eye oval in shape, and I'm just going to get everything lined up. I'm going to look at this and that now. Let's keep a good profile now. So we want this profile here to be parallel, and we also want this profile here to be parallel. So even if we drift it, we're not necessarily going to be forging on the cheeks on this, but we are going to get swell. So the eye is going to swell left and right, which means we're going to have to reforge these in. As these get forged in, they're obviously going to lift up, so we're going to have to flatten this out as well. I've just got myself a nice temperature on here. I'm going to grab a flatter. I'm just going to get a little, yep. Just going to take some of this, swelling out. Lovely. And then just get everything looking nice and tidy. Yep. And what you really need to be careful of, if you're going to be doing this, is that when you put your hammer eye drift in, with my hammer eye drift, it's got flat sides and it's radiused on the sides that are in line with the hammer, but it fits all the way through the hammer so that it's not going to get hot on the end, so when you come to bump it off, it's not going to mushroom up and get jammed in. Okay, so I just messed up there. I basically recorded a load without having the camera on. I've got it on this time. I have, yes. So what we're doing here is we're driving the drift in. I am trying to make sure that it's going to go in so that the flat sides parallel with the outside of a hammer, what would be the cheeks. And I was just saying, if this drift goes in on the wonk, like it is kind of going on here, take it into the side that's highest, tip it up, and hit the drift as normal. And I'll just shunt it over a bit. So I'm just going to keep driving this drifting until it touches all the way around, basically. And then what I'm going to do, and this is one of the things that I think that John was struggling with as well, he had some issues here, is that you need to be able to hit the faces with some sort of conviction in order to loosen the hammer off the drift. So, if you've welded some sort of silly spigot on the end or something like that, so you could hold it with a pair of tongs, or it's two, you can forge hammers off a bar, but you tend to find that most of the forge work that's done is the stuff that you can do without putting a drift in, and as soon as you need to put the drift in, it tends to get cut off the bar. Okay, so I'm going to take the hammer eye drift again. I'm using my harding hole here because I don't need to drop the cheeks that I'm forging into anything to protect them, right? When forging the cheeks, if you've gone to the effort of creating them, you don't want to smush them up by jamming them into an anvil face. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to start forging down the sides of the hammer to match completely the profile of the drift. Now what happens is, if I forge in the cheeks and then don't drive the drift back in, it creates a little gap around the radius areas of the drift. So this is where you need to hit the faces once again. Now, you want to hit the faces, because our eye is an hourglass shape, we need to be hitting the faces, the end of the big side of the drift. If you hit the face of the hammer where the drift isn't in contact, all you'll do is close the eye and cause yourself some problems. Keep these cool as well. I'm quenching this off after every time so that I can hold it with my bare hands. Okay, I'm not 100% sure why I've done it this way, but I punched this one by hand, and this is probably a more convenient to do up with a power hammer. It does produce one little slug, which isn't personally that desirable. This is almost the size, so this is like heat number 6, I think, if I remember rightly. This is almost the size, and I'm just going to press up my cheeks once again. I'm going to drive this drift, bump this up onto the faces. Again, you want to be hitting this side where the drift is, not this side. That should, hopefully, if you've done everything right, give you a nice hammer eye drift. That is an hourglass, a nice hammer eye. That is an hourglass shape. I'm quite pleased with that. It's got a little bit of swelling on the side, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this hot, and then I'm going to drop the drift in. I'm going to get the flatter. Elliot's going to give me a couple of blows with the flatter, and then I'm going to do the rest of the faces. Now, I'm also going to explain just very quickly that we can use the drift in order to keep our, when we come to do our cross peen, we can keep our drift, or straight peen, or whatever I end up making this into, we can use the drift in order to stop the fish lipping from happening. Okay, so I'm just going to grab this and get Elliot just to give that, yep, one more. Yeah, lovely. Oh, nearly. Yeah, and then I'm going to grab the flatter. Yep. Yep. And what you want to be concentrating on again, yep, yep, is only working on the side where the drift is actually coming into contact. Yep. I'm going to come up onto the face again. I'm working on this back side. Yep. Or side closest to me. Yep. And then this side. Yep. Yep. That off there. Just going to grab my tongs. And whilst we're a bit colder here at this temperature, yep, yep, just going to bring that back down and in, and yep, yep, and that's going to push my cheeks out ever so slightly. Yep, yep, yep. It's just a case of fettling away now and just getting that eye and all the sides looking really nice and tidy. Okay, so when I put the fullers in, what happened was the eye had pinched up quite significantly, and then I panicked a bit and basically decided that there must not be enough material to actually finish this hammer, but it's okay, there's plenty. I'm going to be fine, and it's looking quite tidy. So, okay, so here's the hammer after it's been drifted, this one here, and what I've then done is also forged in some of this fish lipping, which is a bit of a pain in the bum. Normally I would cut it out, but for this I'm trying to demonstrate what you can use these for. So this is our pinch here. You can see that that's pinched, I hope. Bring you right up nice and close now. There's that pinch. Okay, so I'm going to try and get rid of that, all right? Okay, so we're going to go in on the side that needs fixing. Yep. Yep. Get Elliot to come in. I'm going to give 2 more whacks on that. Yep. And again. Lovely. So we've got a nice bit of swell on here now. And the first thing I'm going to do is going to get my hammer. And I'm going to just upset that fish lipping back in. On the one side, I'm going to do both sides, I'm just doing the one. Bring this back to section. And then here, and again, just bring those cheeks down. And I'm just going to get the faces a couple more goes again. Just like so. Now that has come out lovely. I'm going to go through and just sort out this eye on both sides so it's the same size. Okay, so these have come out pretty nice. Quite pleased with these. We've got that nice hourglass shape on the inside, and also in the curved areas we've got a nice hourglass shape. I was able to use that hammer eye drift face on, not only to prepare the faces, but also to create a nice eye as well. And the thing to really remember is that the hammer eye punch isn't only a drift to stretch the eye open, but you can use it as an anvil inside the eye as well, giving you some great results. So both of these little hammers have come out really lovely. I've sort of made this one a bit more like a dog's head hammer, and they both come out lovely. Eye on this one's slightly bigger, but I'm still really pleased with both of them. They look really smart. I'm really happy. So we're going to move on to the other one. Okay, so after the initial fullering process, yep, it's really going to pinch up the eye, yep, and I like to, one more, just drive the hammer eye punch back through because of this pinching from the fullering, and it's normally this corner diagonal fuller that does all the damage. Have him in there again. Yep. Last one. Okay, and you can see up there we've just got a bit of pinching just up there. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to get that hammer eye drift in. Like so. I'm going to pop the drift in now, and I can do this on the flat of the anvil, the drift. I think on the previous one of these that I made, we were keen with the drift, driving the drift in, because the eye got very big very quickly. So slow it down a little bit for this one. one of the purposes of the drift in this style of hammer is to use it to pull the cheeks up on. Now, I'm using the round side of my hammer, and I'm going to keep driving the drift in. And what I'm going to end up doing is, I've got the cheeks somewhere near, I'm going to rerun the fullers in, and then once I've rerun the fullers in, I'll pull the cheeks back out again and keep everything looking nice and tidy. Yep. Again, yep. Don't work past this end. You want to be going back towards the big end of the fuller, of the drift. Yep. Yep. One more. And the other side. Yep. 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 Lovely jubbly. So I'm just going to get Elliot to hit those faces. Yep. And I'm going to get him to drive the drift in for me. Yep. Yep. 2 more. 1 more. So basically we want this hammer eye drift to fit all the way around on all the faces before we start drawing it out. Right. So I'm going to come in here now with a fuller. Yep. And I'm going to be working on the fat end back. So this thin end isn't in contact. Yep. 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 A bit harder. Yep. 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 Okay. 1. Yep. 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 And hit the faces. Now that hitting the faces will loosen it off. And again. But it will keep forging all of the sides of the eye so that we're going to get some nice consistent eye. So when you finally come to drive in the hammer and finish off those faces, you use the hammer eye drift as an anvil, and this will in turn not only upset the faces and give you the desired shape that you want, hopefully, but it will clean up the inside of the eye a little bit as well, especially if you've caught it and pinched it a couple of times on the old with the fillers, like that kind of just happens when you're doing this sort of hammer. But it allows you to create a supported area so that instead of deforming the eye, you can actually forge the faces and get some results. That look really good. I'm going to have to do this a couple more times. Make sure I get some good shots up of me doing this. But be careful to make sure that if you do one way, do the other way, because these can bend up a bit like bananas. Thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making these hammers. Yesterday I made 2 of them with Elliot, and I've made 2 today with Matthew. Thank you guys, you're both amazing, and they came out lovely, and it's super enjoyable to be able to do something like this and just have a nice afternoon really, which I'm super grateful for. Just to recap, remember, these are like mini anvils that go inside the eye. You're aiming to use them to shape an eye that's hourglass shape, and also make sure that there's no sharp edges, rags, cold shuts, pinching, anything like that. And that's what these are for. This is what they can do to help you if you really want to get a nice aesthetically looking hammer. These are the things that are going to help you do that. And I know this winds Elliot up, and it winds me up as well, but if the punch is jammed, hit the faces, all right? If you hit the faces, it will deform the eye enough so that you can loosen the drift off, okay? If you've got something welded on the end, it's just going to cause you no end of problems. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, remember to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and if you are a subscriber, please ring that bell for notifications, because it'll tell you every time I make a video. Trying to get 1 video out a week at the minute. I'm trying really hard, and you guys are loving it. The videos are doing so well at the minute, and thank you for supporting me. Remember to like the videos, share the videos, and comment on the videos. And if you click on the show me more button in the description, it'll give you a list of all the ways that you can help support the channel, like heading over to my Etsy, where these hammers will be for sale. These hammers are going to have an S stamped on them, which will denote that they are, well, they're basically limited editions, because you can watch the video that they were made in. But there's loads of other things up on the Etsy, t-shirts, there's raffle tickets for the hammers, that's coming up soon, that's the 22nd of February, and also all sorts of stock and lovely things. They're brilliant ways to support the channel. If you wanted to support the channel in other ways, there is a Patreon. I need to do something with it, because I let it stagnate a little bit, and I'm not doing what I'm saying I'm doing. People are pledging, and anyway, that's a mess. I'm working on that. And also, you could donate via PayPal if you wanted to. You don't have to, just saying if you want to help. And it does help. It helps buy cameras and computers to do editing and stock and all that lovely stuff. I think that's everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a link up here to me punching an eye. There's another eye punching video here, I think it's in an axe. This video here is what YouTube thinks that you want to see from my back catalogue, and this here is the subscribe button. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you guys and girls later. Bye bye.